Welcome to this explainer. You know, if there's one universal truth we can all pretty much agree on, it's that absolutely nobody, and I mean literally nobody, enjoys spending their entire day waiting in line at the DMV. But what if I told you that here in Montana, you can completely skip that line and all the stress that comes with it? Mastering the Montana Motor Vehicle Division's online scheduling system, which is known as the CARS portal, is a total game changer. Today we're going to figure out exactly how to use this tool to save you time, help you avoid those awful walk-in rejections, and make your next MVD visit completely painless. It's a vital skill for every driver in the state, so let's get right into it.
Look, we've all been there, right? You take precious time out of your busy schedule, you drive all the way down to the local exam station, and you either find a line wrapping completely around the building, or even worse, you get turned away at the door because they're totally booked for the day. That feeling of frustration, it is completely valid. But the really good news here is that just showing up and hoping for the best is totally a thing of the past. Using the official online scheduling system is the ultimate, pain-free solution to guarantee we get the exact service we need right when we need it.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap for today. First, why book DMV online? Second, our step-by-step scheduling guide. Third, pro tips and insights. Fourth, managing your booked appointment. And finally, final takeaways and a quick disclaimer.
Section 1. Why book DMV online?
So, showing up without a plan? Yeah, that's just no longer a viable option in Montana. The MVD has shifted to a modernized system, and for a whole lot of critical services, walk-ins just aren't accepted anymore. Appointments aren't merely suggested, they are absolutely mandatory for behind-the-wheel road tests, all written tests, out-of-state license transfers, VIN inspections, and for getting new ID cards or real IDs. Now, it is worth mentioning that while appointments aren't strictly required for standard driver license renewals or replacements, the MVD heavily encourages making one. Exam stations simply can't guarantee service to walk-in customers anymore. So honestly, even for a simple renewal, booking ahead guarantees your spot and saves you a massive headache.
Let's move to Section 2, our step-by-step scheduling guide, and see how this builds.
Okay, before you even type the website address into your browser, you really need to gather your personal information. Seriously, don't start the process without these items right in front of you. You're going to need your full legal first and last name, a valid email address, and this is absolutely crucial because that's exactly where your confirmation is going to go, and a valid phone number. Plus, depending on the specific service and whether you're logging into an existing account, you'll need your social security number, your learner's license number, or your active driver's license number. Having all this ready is going to make the booking process lightning fast.
All right, here's the exact sequential workflow we found. First, you'll navigate over to the official portal at dojmt.gov/driving, or you can go directly to the CARS transaction hub at cars.dojmt.gov. Once you're there, you'll select your specific service category. Next, the system is going to prompt you to choose your preferred driver exam station location. You can base this on where you live or just where they have the best availability. Finally, this interactive calendar pops up, allowing you to click on an available date and pick an open time slot. It's a super straightforward flow, but there is one major pitfall you absolutely need to watch out for.
So what actually happens if you accidentally select the wrong service from that drop-down menu? Well, it happens all the time. People are rushing, they see something that looks kind of close enough, and they just click it. But I want to give you a very empathetic warning right now. System misclassification is literally the easiest way to completely derail your appointment. Because accuracy is critical. The system operates on this highly specific back-end algorithm. It allocates different blocks of time depending entirely on the transaction. For example, a standard renewal, that gets a pretty brief slot, but an out-of-state transfer or a road test gets a much longer window. If you show up for a non-commercial road test, but you accidentally booked a written test, the examiners are probably going to turn you away because they simply do not have the time blocked out to serve you. So, for sure, double-check your selection before you click Next.
Moving on to Section 3, Pro Tips and Insights. Digging into this, I found a pretty bold reality check. Appointments for road tests, particularly in the larger Montana cities, can book up for weeks in advance. There's no way around it. We need to be patient, but more importantly, we need to be proactive. This is especially critical for teen drivers. The source material points out that if a driver fails their driving skills test, state law actually mandates they have to wait at least 7 days before they can retest. And yes, you got to go through that entire online scheduling process all over again to book that new appointment.
Looking at the absolute best strategies to combat those wait times and kind of beat the system, here's what actually works. First off, cast a wider net. check exam stations in smaller, rural towns near you. They very often have way better availability than those big city hubs. Second, hunt for cancellations. People change their plans constantly, right? The best times to refresh the portal and snag a newly opened spot are early in the morning or late at night. Third, as soon as you're eligible, say you've got a teen who has held their permit for 6 months and finished their 50 hours of driving practice, book that appointment immediately. And finally, arrive prepared. Having an appointment means literally nothing if you forget your paperwork. For instance, if you're getting a real ID, you must bring 2 specific proofs of physical Montana residency, like a utility bill or a lease agreement.
Now, let's look at Section 4, Managing Your Booked Appointment. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the process isn't quite over just because you hit the Submit button. Let me emphasize this golden rule as strongly as I possibly can, straight from the MVD guidelines. You will receive a confirmation email. You must save this email. When you confirm your time slot, the system generates an automated receipt with a unique confirmation number sent via email or text. You absolutely need to print this out or keep it flagged on your phone. You need it to physically check in at the exam station on the day of your test, and you also need it if you ever have to make changes to your appointment online.
Because if life happens and you need to reschedule, you cannot just submit a brand new request to override the old one. You have to properly modify it. To do this, go back to the CARS portal and find the Manage Appointments or My Appointments tab. This is where you're going to type in that unique confirmation number you saved, along with the email or phone number you registered with. From there, the system will allow you to either modify your date and time or just cancel the appointment entirely so someone else can grab that slot. Now, if you happen to be having technical difficulties online, there is a really fantastic safety net. You can handle scheduling, modifying, or canceling by calling the centralized MVD Customer Care Center down in Helena at 406-444-1772 or toll-free at 866-450-8034. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates how Montana is modernizing its services. They actually feature a callback option. Instead of waiting on hold, listening to terrible elevator music for an hour, you just leave your number and they will call you back in the order your call was received.
All right, bringing it home with Section 5, Final Takeaways and Disclaimers.
We've covered a lot of ground today. Ultimately, mastering this online system really empowers you as a Montana driver. By using the KRS portal, you get guaranteed service without that agonizing wait. You significantly reduce your stress because the system tells you exactly what document preparation is needed beforehand. And it offers incredible flexibility, allowing for easy modifications right from your smartphone or your computer. It essentially turns a historically frustrating chore into a totally predictable, streamlined task.
Before we wrap up, though, I do need to impartially note a quick disclaimer. Government protocols and MVD processes can and do change over time. While the information we've covered today is sourced directly from current official guidelines, you should always double-check the official state portal at dojmt.gov for the absolute latest requirements, fees, and procedures before you actually make your visit.
And with that, you are officially a scheduling pro. So I want to leave you with this final thought. What Montana MVD service are you going to conquer online today? Are you finally getting that real ID, or maybe helping a teen book their very first road test? Let me know all about your experiences, your successes, or any extra tips you might have for navigating the system down in the comments to help out the community. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy driving!